Hello, everybody, and welcome to the start of a brand new campaign here on D-Fourtress. So,
Woo!
so welcome to our session 0, where we'll just be discussing what to expect with the campaign, and things like that. But first things first, we have a couple new cast members that will be joining us. First things first, Mason, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
My name's Mason. I'm new here. This is my first time ever playing D&D, so get ready for as many shenanigans as I can pull, I guess. I am the oldest of all boys, so get ready for just the man's man.
Sounds good. And Jordan, how about yourself?
I'm Jordan. Get ready for the ladies, man.
Oh.
And definitely the oldest out of everyone here. Have more experience probably than everybody put together here.
You played, what was it, second edition?
First edition. Thaco. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to swear alive. But anyway, but yes. And I've been excited for this. There was like a wait list for this. I'm like, seriously, I'm not even gonna get paid for this, but there's a wait list to come and do this with you guys. I was waiting 8 months, something like that.
8 months because our home game was still going.
Yeah, it was great. And in all that time, I probably should have read up on a lot of your guys' lore. But I'm gonna learn it. It's gonna be great.
Fair
You're
enough.
gonna learn in character. That's the best part.
Yeah, you are.
It's gonna be fun.
All right, and then
I'm Andrew. This is my first time.
and y'all already know Andrew and Erica. But for those for people that would be finding this campaign first, go ahead and introduce yourselves. We'll do Erica first.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know how
Just
to.
the silence. Neither of us want to go first. Hi, I'm Erica, and I'm definitely bringing a lot of my own excitement to the table.
Right. I'm Andrew, and one of the owners of D-Fourtress. Super excited to play some more. I have ADHD up the wazoo, so don't be surprised if you see me snacking while we're going through, because that's how I stay focused.
That's what we call
Yep.
gluttony, not ADHD.
all the fidgeting.
Nope, difference.
And it's also worth noting that Erica here is our main artist as well. So all the character art that you'll be seeing for the player characters, as well as all the portraits for the player characters made in the Relendwell Paragon campaign, is all done by her. So, yeah. The only time I don't come to her for art is if it's something that would be spoilers for her.
She does have artist privileges, but not all of them.
Oh, I so do, and I love it.
All right, so we are going to be going into the continent of Kharinal for this campaign. So, with the continent of Kharinal, it is the northeasternmost continent, and one thing that that is the wrong thing. Did not mean to add that.
Get it right already.
Just showing you
Also, thank you to Tabletop Audio for always being awesome.
Yes, they are. Yeah, they allow us to.
Yeah.
They allow us to.
Have some fun ambiance.
To basically use the audio that they make within our streams, and it is super generous of them to do this. But I'm trying to find my
World map.
Yes. Whoop. We just go like this.
I like this ambiance choice that you're going with, by the way. I'm just like zooming in.
Once again, tabletop audio.
This one's called Wizard's Tower.
Yeah, if I fall asleep, I'm sorry, guys. Just kidding.
There we go. Here's the world map. Here's the world map. So, the Paragon campaign is taking place down here in Alabas, which the Paragon is currently right about here. This campaign will take place during about the same time as the Alabas campaign, which we are going to be up here, mainly in Tirvis. And it is worth noting our home game, which we have affectionately named Blood Money, takes place here in Athias, and this takes place about 10 years before the home game that we had going. Takes place about 10 years before the events of the Paragon and this new campaign. So we are going to be delving into this continent up here, Kharinal. While we will be starting in Tirvis, and it seems that all the player characters are from there, by the end of the campaign, I encourage you all to explore the entirety of the continent, not just the country. The whole continent is yours to explore and interact with the people there. There will be ongoing stories, a lot of intrigue, but also a lot of discovery, and this is going to be a bit different from how I normally run campaigns. A bit more dungeon delving than I normally do. So yeah, we are going to be starting within Tirvis, and for the most part, Tirvis, the area is going to be a snowy area, similar to like a Russia-esque landscape, kind of that like a northern Russia-esque landscape, so where you get like the dense woods, snowy forests, as well as just full-on glacial tundras here and there.
Cool.
And so
We're definitely all gonna have snow blindness, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so without
Get some goggles.
Yeah. Without revealing your character, or we'll also keep the subclass hidden for now. But Jordan, what class will you be playing this time around?
Without the subclass?
Without the subclass.
I am a non-conventional wizard.
Non-conventional wizard.
We'll just start with that. We'll just call myself the jack of all trades wizard.
All right, Erica, what are you going to be playing as?
I am going to be playing a warlock.
All right, and Andrew, what is your character?
I am going to be a fighter.
And Mason, what about you?
I'll be a paladin, baby.
Nice.
Yeah, classic.
All right. So, there are a couple house rules that we are going to be integrating. So first things first, things that will be basically banned from the table, which there's only really one, and that is the first level spell Silvery Barbs. That's
The second ban is Andrew.
Yep, you're out. You're fired. We wrote you out of the paperwork.
No,
Who's gonna pay me?
Oh,
We just
Andrew will
figured,
still
you know,
pay you.
it's great for clickbait. You know, we were just gonna have this emotional conversation on stream.
Yeah. The company's going in a different direction, Andrew. We're like,
And they did what?
and then it'll get a red circle to circle your face.
Yep, exactly. Clickbait to the extreme.
Yep. So that is basically the only thing that's banned. One thing of the two of you that have not played under me, I am a relatively lenient DM when it comes to a lot of things.
He lets us do a lot of cool stuff.
So if you want to try something, go ahead and try it, and then if I don't quite understand what you're going for, I may need you to explain it to me a little bit to see, like, what's within the realm of possibility and stuff. So for a couple other house rules, though. First things first, the way healing potions work is actually going to be a little bit different. So, by default, healing potions is you drink it as an action or use it as an action, and then you roll to get what it is. Well, we personally don't like having to use your entire turn just for a potion, if need be, so you actually have two options when it comes to drinking a healing potion. You can either use your action to get the maximum healing possible, or you can use your bonus action to roll for the healing, if you still want to use your action for something else. So that is
so handy.
Yeah, so that is
makes sense, because if you're out of combat, typically you get the full amount.
Yeah, and you'd be able to use your action basically consequence
and we
free.
have no healers in our party.
Yep.
Yep.
I think I
We're
have
gonna
lay on
die.
hands, and that's it.
You don't know me. You don't know me.
Hey, at level 1, we got five hit points, so you can go anywhere. There's 4 of
Right.
us. One of us gets 2.
There we go. There we
That's
go.
Lay on of hands. We're set.
That's you. You are the most important one of us. Live.
Yeah, I am.
At this point, I think sap and leaves is a good enough bandage to regain our hit
Right?
points,
There we go.
Right.
Yeah.
Just put some spit and dirt in it.
There's this new
Yeah.
feat
Nice
that's called
poultice.
lick wounds, you know?
It doesn't do anything, you can just do it.
It's a free object.
You have a slight
interaction,
metallic taste in your mouth now.
Andrew, why are you licking my wounds?
It's weird, but you can do it.
Do you feel better?
Vampire subclass.
Yes.
All right.
No, I'm just a cannibal.
So with that, the next house rule that we'll be trying, this one is going to be a new one. This one, I believe the most well-known term for it is called the Sanctuary Rule. And so the Sanctuary Rule is when you are out in the wilderness, when you go to sleep for the night, you do not get a long rest. You only get a short rest. You only get long rests in designated safe areas, like in an inn or in a city, or in a place where you reasonably, where
Later on when we can cast Sanctuary.
Yeah, Sanctuary or like Lehman's Tiny Hut kind of a thing.
No, that one doesn't
Like-
count.
Oh, okay,
Human's tiny hut.
You feel safe, but you're not.
It's all a lie.
The figment of your imagination.
Who said that?
And to also put into perspective of how big the map is, let me go like this and actually launch the Kharinal campaign real quick on here, because I forgot to do that.
Fancy.
Okay. So, when traveling at a normal pace, you guys can travel at about 25 miles a day. Each one of these squares is 25 miles.
Oh crap.
The country of Tirvis is about 2,000 miles across.
The big one.
It is the largest country in the world.
He's a big boy.
And so here is properly the actual map.
That's
I
not
see
even
home.
including anything else. Yeah, I see my home too there, boy.
Dude, no way. You're from Tirvis too? What a small
What?
world.
I see
No
mine
way,
as
man.
well. I
You know my
have a
cousin that
home.
lives on the other side of Tirvis from you?
Oh, you wouldn't know him. He goes to Canada.
Oh, he goes to Canada.
So here
He
is
doesn't even go here.
so here is the map of Tirvis. Now, I do have a lot of random encounters. a lot of different tables of random encounters depending on which area you're in, and
Oh, they're so stressful. It's great.
and and things of that nature. And I will be dropping icons on the map as you discover things like dungeons and whatnot, things like that.
And dragons.
Is that a 50 mile?
Yes, it is. Thanks
So,
for noticing.
squares. 50 miles.
It is also worth noting that when it comes to Tirvis, usually how people get around is they will move to the closest large city and then take an airship to the city that they're going to. So there is that option to quickly get to the larger cities. However, it will cost you a good sum of gold per person.
And at the danger of being caught by the TSA.
I have so many weapons.
I've just got water bottles, guys.
Yeah, but they're over 3 ounces.
They're
So
over 3 ounces.
they're over 3
over
ounces.
2 ounces.
You with the destructive magic spells, you go in. You with the bottle of water, you come to security.
Just parched, okay?
Just put me in a cage and
That's how
take me
it
as
is.
carry-on. They'll never know.
There we go. This is my
He's my emotional support.
this is my emotional support wizard. Don't look at him too closely. He will bite. So with the airship travel, town to town, does that take like a day, more or less?
Not a day. But it is still much faster. So if you
Okay.
look at the distance between Ebonwood to Corradine, that would take about that would take around 20 days to get there. A little over 20 days to get there.
In
Go
the
from one to
airship?
the other.
Walking.
Walking.
Holy moly.
For the airship, that is without things like horses and stuff. If you all like get
Oh, okay.
horses, you can like double your speed, things like that. But
Still 10
that would
Ks,
take
wow.
about 3 days via airship. 2.5.
But that's
3
way
days.
faster.
That is.
We just have to make a lot of money right off the bat, you guys.
But if you want to go to
I'll sell myself.
if you want to go to Luridale, that is a totally different story. Luridale, you gotta pick your poison. Which one would you rather walk from?
Right.
Probably from Alabast.
Yeah, just walk over the ocean, you know?
Yes. Well, I figured if we
Water
walk the
isn't even a
opposite
problem.
direction, if we go from the south, we'll eventually round over, you know?
Yeah, they're all connected by land bridges, right?
Yeah, pretty much. There's definitely not a giant ocean on the opposite side of the
No.
planet.
No.
Yeah,
Okay.
you just can't see the land bridges because they're
Alright.
just under the surface.
We just go 1, 2.
I mean, technically, you're not wrong. There is the Underdark. There is. Some of the continents are connected.
Yeah.
Yes,
World
there.
War.
Yep.
World
Makes me so
Lord.
proud. Okay. Andrew, do you have your dice with you?
No. I have D&D Beyond dice, though.
Okay. Just roll a d6 for me.
Alright, which one of us is gonna die?
It's me.
Pick me.
I got
pick
a
me,
6.
A 6. Let me just go.
By the way, D&D Beyond has Lego dice, and it's kind of awesome. It makes Lego noises.
What?
Oh, that's so cool.
All right. So,
I know what sound you're talking about, and I like it.
so
Yeah.
the reason why I had you roll a d6, Andrew,
Right.
was because I was choosing a starting area for the campaign. Which area would it be in? Black Pine Forest, Tailwind Tundra, Black Spire Mountains, Cape White Spire, Palewood Peninsula, or the Heraldon Snowfields?
And
Yeah,
With-
which one?
and I got
With
a
a
6.
Great.
Figure it
With a
out.
6? We're in the ocean,
No, Sherlock.
aren't we?
Math it out.
With a 6, you are in the Black Spire Mountains is where we'll be starting.
Ooh, fancy.
Ooh.
Mountainy.
Mountainous.
Emphasis on spire. I mean, those things are freaking tall.
Yeah.
Yes. And there are small
They're like
clumps of
teeth.
forests on them as well. It was just hard to portray that on the map.
Yeah.
By the way,
I
for
like to
anybody
imagine
who's
I'm just
curious, I make all these maps on a website called Incarnate. That's INK ARNATE. You can make maps like this as well as like, you know, some battle maps and stuff like that. And it is subscription based, but the subscription is literally like $10 a year. So DMs who want to make maps, or anybody wants to make maps, this is amazing.
And especially if you're doing Foundry and all that kind of stuff, it makes life nice.
So potentially could be starting in a snow roost right here, but we will see.
Aw, so cute. Yes. Excited. The snowy mountains.
So
Perfect.
that is where we'll be starting. Any questions about the world or Tyrvis or anything from you guys?
God, what's your favorite color?
Purple.
Got it. That's all I needed.
All right. Is there anybody in chat that has any questions that they would like answered about this?
Let's see. Do we have any other homebrew rules? Oh, there's actually one more thing to cover: weapon switching.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
So weapon switching, we've tried it several different ways. And so far, I think the most balanced way that we've found to switch weapons, and like the easiest way to do it is if you're proficient with the weapons, you can switch it as a bonus action, which is what we were doing in our home game.
I do mine as a free action once.
Yeah. So the way I found that works best is if you're proficient with it, it's a bonus action, and if you're pulling out more than one weapon at a time, like let's say you're dual wielding, you can pull them out as the same bonus action and stuff.
And then also attunement slots is the other homebrew that you did.
Yes, the other homebrew is not the slots, but attunement. So rather than taking an hour to attune, it takes an action to attune to it. However, it takes 1 minute to unattune to a magic item.
Okay, so I'm new to attunement. Tell me a little bit about that.
Attunement is basically I activate this magic item on myself to gain its benefits. So,
Okay, so that's like if you're switching an amulet or something.
yeah,
like
yeah,
that. Okay.
certain magic items require attunement, and you have 3 attunement slots.
And other ones just work without needing attunement. Like a lot of basic ones, like an immovable rod. You just click the button. You don't need to attune to it. Or like the earring of message kind of thing. You just use it. You don't need to attune to it.
Yeah, the magic item will tell you if it requires attunement.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing typically things that have more advanced features.
Yeah.
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 A lot of weapons and armor and stuff do.
Yeah. Okay.
So that is the other home rule. Nikandra in chat says something everyone would generally know if you're from here. I believe every character is I believe every PC is from Tyrvis as well.
Well,
So
read the
so, yeah,
comment
yeah.
above it.
Yeah, what is some basic lore of the continent? Something
You guys
that
even
if you're
see
from
these comments.
Tyrvis,
Oh,
you
there's
would
the chat.
know.
Okay.
That's direct message.
Basic lore of the continent. So, 10 years prior to this, 10 years prior to this campaign taking place, a group of chromatic dragons posing as a crime family before they were revealed as chromatic dragons try to take over the country of Atheus, as well as the continent, and then later on the world by summoning Tiamat into the material plane. Now, with that, they destabilize a good portion of the continent. While most of the fighting was kept in Atheus, they did send out strike teams and destabilize quite a bit of the continent. Since then, the Neutral Agreement Alliance has sent representatives to help all three of the countries kind of rebuild and recover after the incident. And kind of restabilize the economy and governments of the continent. And where this story will be taking place is 10 years later, because it seems to be working to some extent in Alabast. They are taking this over to Kharinal, a program to have people sign up and get more adventurers out into the world, which is the program that you, the players, will be participating in.
Woo! Exciting.
And so another thing that you would know is Tiervis has just elected a brand new president as well. So there is a new person in the presidential office. And then the other things that you would know, just basic things, is there are 3 indigenous tribes of Tiervis that are that own a pretty large swaths of land in 3 different things where they keep their traditions and heritage alive. A tribe of Minotaur, a tribe of Goliath, and a tribe of Orc. That are dotted throughout, and the chieftains of these 3 tribes also hold relatively significant political sway within the country, kind of on the same level of lords of the major cities. And what you know about the country itself is it has a vast wilderness where it is incredibly dangerous, really hard to trek through without some form of protection. So there are entire companies and businesses that surround caravan guarding, dotted throughout the country as well, that are cheaper than airship flights. And so that's typically how the common folk get around, is they hire these guards, or they just don't travel in general. Nikandra says, question for everyone. What pet peeves do you all have concerning D&D? Mason, just give a general pet peeve since you're new. So yeah, Mason, what is a pet peeve that you would see going on at the table, possibly, that we will try to avoid?
Pet peeve for me personally? I don't really have any pet peeves though.
You will.
Pet peeve is people not having pet peeves.
Yeah,
Come
I'll
on.
probably get some.
You'll learn what they are.
Yeah, I'll be like, at the end of the stream, at the end of the campaign, I'll be like, okay guys, I have a list for you. You ready?
Or just in the middle of the stream, someone's in dialogue, and then you just go, can you
That's it. Stop it.
Somebody is given their backstory. Somebody's in the middle of giving their backstory, and you're like, can you stop trauma dumping, please? Just
We're in a real tight conversation together, just me and the other person. I'll be like, can you shut up?
My pet peeve is probably a tough one, because I've been kicked out of a couple of campaigns before.
Mm-hmm. And you'll get kicked out of this one.
Yes, exactly. No, I got kicked out of a couple campaigns, and my backstory about me kind of talked a little bit about it, not in depth, but because I did things that were totally according to the rules that the dungeon master had set up. But because it didn't go with the flow of the way he wanted the adventure to go, he's like, well, you kind of ruined that for this part of the adventure, so no, I'm done. Instead of, storytelling and making it flow, because you're not going to be able to predict everything we're going to do. So.
I love improvising, so.
Yeah,
we
you're
played
good.
with Sean,
You're good, man.
so Sean is great at improvising.
Yeah.
Sean is no offense to you guys. Sean is probably like my favorite person to DM for because he keeps me on my toes with everything he does.
His character is my favorite to draw. I totally understand you.
Expect the unexpected. Like even just playing games, he just manages to like find the glitches that no one has ever seen before, and it's like how?
Yeah, I kind of killed the final campaign boss in the first 3 rounds of the campaign. Wasn't supposed to be able to.
Yeah.
Anyway, and it was randomized, just like my character now. So for those that hold on to your seats, my character is random. Everything was great, but then it just left it all up to fate.
I'm actually really excited though.
So we did a more generous standard array. So instead of like 15, 14, we did 17, 15, 14, 12, 10, and 8 as the things. And Jordan over here rolled a d6 to see where he put those stats. And we won't reveal it immediately, but when he says it's an unconventional wizard, yeah.
Yeah. And once you learn more of my backstory, you're gonna
for the
love
race as well.
I'm so excited for your backstory.
I'm really good at
I'm so excited.
It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be great.
Erica, how about you? Any pet peeves, things you don't want to see at the table?
I guess the only pet peeve I've ever had is when people don't try, or not that, but like they try not to get into things, avoiding
they
try
the
to hold
hooks.
back on the tears, avoiding getting into their character. I like the role play. I like to really be immersed, and when other people are just like, yeah, I go and do that, it's kind of difficult for me to be immersed too.
Nicandra, he rolled for the class as well.
I rolled for everything. I rolled for the
Everything.
class. I rolled
Quite
for...
literally. He counted through it. It's like
Literally-
1, 2, 3.
literally
All right,
the
there's
only-
39. Siri, roll between 1 and 39.
Literally,
Yeah, the only thing that I didn't roll for was when I was picking what spells
and
for my
the background.
Well, I mean, how do you? Okay, should I type an A? Siri, 1
Yeah.
through 26.
No. I mean like
He's an amnesia
the
patient.
background choice. We have like the criminal spy background or the sailor background.
Oh no, I rolled.
Oh,
I rolled
you did?
for it.
I must have walked away at that point. All right.
Yeah, no, I rolled for what
And then
my-
created a backstory around it.
It's
Oh
so
man,
good.
I did that once, and I got a Shetland pony centaur who had the criminal background. He was a Highland thief, but he was really bad at being a thief.
So great.
And
Kinda
everything
stumbled on
aligned
it.
perfectly. All of his ideals, his alignment, what he's good at, everything aligned perfectly, and it was crazy. But he's so bad at what he does, and it's fantastic.
All right. And then Andrew, how about you? Things that you don't want to see at the table, or things that bug you?
I always like seeing allowing for creativity, but then also I also love finding the creativity within the bounds of the rules as well. I love seeing the creativity that comes while also obeying rules in the game or things like that. Personally, I love that. Other than that, I love the just when everyone gets into character, and I like having the feeling of everyone's on equal footing. Luckily, that's not something that I've ever had to worry about in any of our campaigns. But I always struggle when you got like the one person with like main character syndrome kind of a thing. And I always like when everyone gets their epic cool moment in the campaign.
Yeah. I love that so much.
Thankfully, like as a dungeon master in my 8 years of dungeon master, because I've been playing with like the same people at our home game, and then people in the Paragon campaign and stuff like that. I don't think I've ever had to deal with main character syndrome.
Yay!
Which is nice. I won't complain about that.
I'm not a problem. Woo!
That's not what I said, Erica.
I would say for me, the one main thing is engage with the adventure. I try to make it so you have like a bunch of different things you could possibly go do and stuff. Just don't do nothing.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Oh, also, there is one hard and fast rule that I have at all of my tables, which, once again, since I know everybody I play with, this has literally never been a problem, but this is also for future reference if anybody like new comes in and stuff in the games. And the other you four are gonna find this as like the most obvious common sense thing, but there's people out there, there's horror stories out there. There is no thing of like any sort of SA, sexual assault, anything like that of any kind going on. Any of that goes, you're out, permanently banned. Which I know I don't have to worry about with you guys because I know you guys, but that's
good.
Also...
I feel very protected that you said that because I know everybody's coming after me.
Yeah, everybody wants it. Now that being
I better just delete Jordan's contact now.
That being said,
in game, Andrew, in game.
Oh,
no, I'm just saying.
I'm worried about Andrew in real life.
So,
send help.
so that being said, this still is technically an adult campaign, so there will be language. There will be, if you guys so choose, there are, I guess, romanceable characters. Romanceable characters, things like that. We obviously won't.
No, I'm not doing anything.
Yeah,
no.
we won't go. If it gets to that point, we'll do a respectful fade to black.
With very descriptive noises and words.
That's what I'm going to title my next book.
All right, Andrew, I need you to voice act this. See, I'm just kidding. Don't even do it.
I was about to black,
because some people would clip it, and then you would never live it down, and it'd be on the internet forever.
Oh no, perfect. Do it now.
I would make a short about it. So that is a thing. But that is important expectation to set. This is an adult campaign, so there will be some like adult themes. The violence. First Critter says I'd clip Andrew. The violence I'll
just get real close and just do ASMR.
Yeah, I do get pretty descriptive when it comes to the violence. There will be some pretty intense stuff, some darker themes, things like torture. That is.
I'm gonna rub you in peanut butter and just mess you up.
That's
one way to make him talk.
Is that a threat or an invitation?
I mean,
it's a promise.
Until you sick a rabid pit bull on them with it.
Quick, fade to black, fade to black.
So I do get pretty descriptive when it comes to the violence and kind of gore aspect with it. So just be braced for that. There is also obviously you don't have to if you don't want to, but me and the characters I speak through, there will be some language and everything as well. So
preferably English.
Oh, not common. Okay.
Yeah, so there will be some cursing, some swearing and stuff. So if you wish to share this with people, this is not oh yeah, go show your kids kind of a thing. So
Or do if you're into that. I mean, I don't care.
I mean, it depends
Grandma,
if
you
you're
already seen
into
For
this.
kids.
Oh no.
All right.
I'm not their parent.
Fair enough.
I don't condone this.
We're streaming what on Sunday?
The Paragon campaign. That's what we're streaming.
Yeah, every other Sunday.
Now before we move on, and Nikandra in the chat says, Mason, what are you most excited about with this campaign being your first one?
Honestly, just to see how it goes. I know D&D can be pretty unpredictable at times, and things can end up either fun or serious or anything like that. So I'm excited to roll with the punches. That's what I'm excited for.
I remember when I felt the same.
And then
she was traumatized.
Perfect.
And
Add on. Let's go.
and then the next question from Nikandra just extends that question to everybody else. So Erica, what are you most excited about for the new campaign?
I'm most excited about trying a new character and with new settings, with all the knowledge that I've already been armed with, and just being able to interact with new characters as well. I truly love creating and being my most creative self with all of this, not just limited to the art. And it's just, I'm really excited.
All right, Jordan, how about you?
What am I nervous about?
No, most excited
Excited.
Oh, excited. Wow.
about. He's probably nervous about dying.
I'm excited. Okay, so
Oh yeah.
COVID in 2020, I actually have memory loss, so sometimes I will have those senior moments, just so you're aware.
We won't chalk that up to old age.
Oh yeah.
What am I excited
That'll
about?
be great.
I'm in a flippin' Dungeons and Dragons campaign that I don't have to be the GM every single time. Oh my goodness.
Hey, I know.
Yeah.
I know. Because our home game, I had them just take their final long rest, our last session. We haven't played in a couple weeks just because we're basically in the final conflict, and I want all the players there. We've had players sick, things like that for our home game. But once that campaign is done, this is what's allowing me to do this weekly campaign. Is one of my players from that home game was so kind to take up the mantle of DM, and so kind to
Which
take
I'm
up the
super
mantle
excited
of
for.
DM, and I'm just like, this is my very first time ever getting to be a player.
Yeah, it's been many years since I have been a player, so I mean, 'cause when
The
I was
curse of
single,
the
I was a
forever
player.
DM.
No, I'm just kidding.
A level 20 wizard.
All right. So, then, for the most part, when it comes to like the broader story, I'm doing this with the Paragon campaign as well, because with the home game, I did kind of railroad quite a bit. This one is going to be a lot more open-ended. This one is going to be a lot more open-ended, kind of like what I'm doing with the Paragon campaign, where it's like, yeah, I do have like an end in like an ending kind of planned, but how you go about getting to that is a whole different. How you guys go about getting that is a whole different thing. So with this adventuring program here in Tirvis, it is with this adventuring program here in Tirvis, it is a there's going to be a lot of random jobs that you can take. You know, go here, take this thing. I've got plenty of villains for you to fight, both big and small villains, and dungeons with their own unique stories, and places with all their own unique NPCs, and all that stuff. And one thing that I think I've told everybody but Jordan so far, but I want the audience to get excited for this. And you can thank Pointy Hat, aka Antonio D'Amico, for inspiring me for this. However, one thing that I want to set aside is there will be another adventuring party. Within this campaign that will level up with you guys. That I have handcrafted each and every one of them to be a rival for you. Whether it be physical, ideological, personal, anything like that, you will each have a rival. Whether that rival's friendly or not, it's up to you, but there will be that. So you will have reoccurring NPCs to interact with, and as well as a lot of mainstay NPCs that you will interact with through this program.
Is my rival romanceable?
I mean, yeah.
Yes. What's your
Enemies to
charisma?
lovers.
Roll for persuasion.
I mean, yes.
The disappointed.
Yes,
Technically.
he is. Yes, he is.
All right, persuasion check. Ready? Got 16.
16.
Yeah, there we go.
You're married. So,
Yay!
7 kids in a house in the mountains.
His name is Clunk. He is a orc barbarian, and
Perfect.
he likes long walks, dragging bodies on the beach.
it's not a body, it's just not the same.
Is it my body?
You don't know. You're not conscious.
Oh, man.
Sounds like a great time.
Oh, this is gonna be so much fun.
So,
That's what she said.
other things, other things as well, just so you guys are aware, within the context of the world of Auroran, there are a couple races that are renamed. So, Shatter Kai are known as Grey Elves in Auroran, and the Astral Elves are known as Moon Elves in Auroran. So, just a little thing. With that. The other thing that I wanted to get into today is throughout this campaign, same thing I've been doing with Paragon. I've been working on making homebrew subclasses. So how me and Andrew have it planned is we're basically doing one subclass for every class for each continent. So I haven't begun making the Tirvis themed subclasses yet. But if by the time it is time for you guys to pick your subclasses, the ones that I have made, such as the Sky Dancer Fighter or Oath of Knowledge Paladin, things like that, are free game. Are free game to choose. And yeah, so there are...
Or when we all inevitably die in the first session.
Yes. All right. Now,
right.
This is for audience reference because you guys already know. This campaign, we are starting all the way down at level 1. We're starting at level 1. However,
We're number 1.
Yeah.
We're number 1.
We will be...
We're squishy.
Yeah, you guys will be getting to level 3.
Soft.
Level 3 really fast. And then you'll get to level 6 at kind of like a medium pace. And then once you hit level 6, then the leveling is going to slow down quite a bit. We're doing milestone leveling.
Like, how slow do we go from 69?
I mean,
Depends on how good your persuasion is.
Yeah.
You gotta roll a 16.
It's the only number.
It's going to be one of those campaigns, I guess.
Oh, yeah.
Uh-oh.
I can't make your mom jokes, though, so...
Because otherwise she'd give you a call and be like, what is going on?
Oh.
Hey, if it makes you feel better,
my
Jordan,
gosh.
she once tried to do a your mom joke on me, but cut herself off halfway through.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, my brother, Eric, yeah, he would do those jokes all the time, and until my mom walked in the room and smacked him upside the head.
yep, sounds about right.
Does that sound right, Erica?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, so we will be starting at level 1. Now, when it comes to dice rolling, when we are not using Foundry, you can roll your dice. You can roll your dice on D&D Beyond, or you can roll your physical dice on the desk if you have any. It is up to you. I trust you guys with what you roll, and if you cheat on the dice rolls, you're honestly just cheating yourself out of the experience. So, so there's that. However, when we are in Foundry, then all rolls will be on Foundry. Any roll outside of Foundry does not count. So you have to re-roll on Foundry, and we'll be using Foundry during combat and like during dungeon things, or when we need the map for anything like that. Now, one thing I would just ask of you, when we are on Foundry, like in a dungeon, but you're not necessarily in combat, I would say even though you're not in turns, I would say do what you want to do one at a time, because so it's easier for me to keep track of. Let's say if you step on a trap or you trigger something, anything like that.
Also, just so the camera can follow what's happening.
Yeah. So the camera can follow what's happening, things like that. So even if we're not in turn-based thing, just go like one at a time. Kind of like the same thing if you were just playing on the tabletop doing Theater of the Mind stuff. You would kind of go one at a time and just kind of speak up like, oh, I want to try this, you know?
Yeah.
And so, yeah. Most of the dungeons I'll be making will be made on Dungeon Alchemist, which is a super handy thing that Jeremy showed me. And however, I'll basically just be using, but I'll be using a few different programs with it, of just using whatever one has the best resources for the exact thing I'm trying to accomplish. So you might see some art style changes between maps and stuff like that, just as I'm trying to find the things that I need to complete the map. And yeah. Any questions regarding any of that stuff?
Nope.
Okay. Now, I've received backstory from I think I've gotten everybody's by now. Just make sure I haven't read through all of them yet. Just make sure that at the end of your written backstory, you have basically a list of the NPCs, like a bullet point list of the NPCs, their names, their race, classes if they have any, and basic personality, as well as, and this one I can't stress enough, as well as their appearance. So if a backstory NPC shows up, I can introduce them based off of their appearance, without straight up saying, Andrew, this backstory character for you is right here, you know? And so with that, also give them like some form of identifying mark as well that makes them recognizable to you.
Yeah.
So you can do it. So like maybe a scar somewhere, or like a mannerism that they do, or
They all have a missing left eye.
Every single one of my NPCs.
Hey, you're copying.
I know, I came up with it. It's original.
so yeah.
I definitely don't know any other characters with no left eye.
So yeah. And then I believe, so we covered that. We covered the rules, covered the characters, covered some odds and ends here. Trying to think if there's anything else need to go over.
I encourage note taking. Sometimes I go into ADHD spells and then I forget that I'm taking notes. So it's nice to have someone else taking notes, just so that way you don't have to 100% rely on what I note on.
Yes. Yeah. I believe. Yeah. So taking notes is going to be a very good thing, especially when I throw some of the mysteries at you. That will definitely come in handy.
Okay.
So there's going to be a little bit of everything. I like to dabble. There is going to be, political intrigue. There's dungeon delving. There will be there will be mysteries. There will be mysteries. There will be a lot of a lot of role play. There is also going to be here and there. I also might change the vibe of certain things here and there. So, for example, one day you might stumble upon a quest that you guys will go on, and it's a horror themed quest, or one quest will be more of a comedy and be comical. So there's going to be a little bit of everything. But this is but the main goal of the campaign is kind of a more discovery based campaign. So at least not at the start. Who knows? Maybe events will transpire that happens, but there isn't going to be unless something's uncovered. We're not going to start with like, oh, there's a looming threat over here. With it, I want this to kind of be a bit more of an open experience for you guys. Bit more, I want to go do this and you go do it kind of a deal.
I pushed the obelisk.
Welcome to the Discovery Channel, everybody.
Hence the dungeon things. Now, that being said, some of the dungeons I've written might have some things with it, and main story stuff will arise. But for the most part, and for any of my Paragon players that are listening, this is also kind of the goal with the Paragon campaign as well, is to basically the most important thing is to meet people, make connections, and then meet people, make connections, and then just go out on the adventure.
I have to interact with people again?
Ew.
Yes, you have
So
the highest
gross.
you have the highest charisma now, so you get to be the face of the party.
Ew! Choose someone else.
Dude, how high is your charisma, man?
Hi.
It's 19.
Oh my gosh.
No, it's 18.
Oh, you went with that route? I thought you went with
Secrets.
Secrets.
Now they know that we did standard array.
What? I didn't mess with the system. Who messed with the system? Not me.
All right. Now, before we move on to our final thing for this session 0, anybody in chat, are there any questions? We can take a few minutes to for any last questions from anybody in chat. So we'll give them a bit to respond.
Play the Jeopardy theme song. But it'd just be muted because it's most definitely copyrighted.
For sure.
We're all just...
Hey, we just met our follower goal, 70 out of 70.
Woohoo!
Yay!
Thank you, random citizen.
And I love you, random citizen.
Who's excited for that second movie?
For what?
Are they
Mega
really
Mind
making
too.
a second?
Yeah.
It
Mega
already
Mind?
came out and it's trash.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
no.
it did already come out?
Yeah, it's
When?
so terrible. It's so terrible.
I don't know. I didn't care enough to watch it. I've seen enough reviews. I've seen clips.
No, I won't take that.
Nikandra says, I've already asked enough questions, I think. Thank you for participating, though, Nikandra. Greatly appreciated. So yeah, we'll give them a little bit to respond.
I have 60 seconds.
Dun, dun, dun.
Before we spontaneously combust.
And I'm like fighting against my brain to not hum the Jeopardy theme song now.
Then
do
turn
it
it
really
on.
It's stuck
poorly.
in my head.
Ah, dang it.
Da da da
There we
da
go.
da 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 da.
Rael Vastos asks, who will die first?
Probably the
me.
DM. Erica.
I have history. I have history of being the first to die. I will not. I will continue that. It'll be a tradition now.
Frizz
No
Critter
death
says,
on my watch. No
Frizz,
death on my watch.
Frizz Critter says, do you have any more compliments about me? Yes.
You sound
said
like
that?
Liam Neeson. You're an
Yes.
He
amazing
sounds like
role
Liam
player.
Neeson.
You sound like Liam
He straight
Neeson when
up
you play
does.
Artaban.
And I love it. I love it.
Great role player.
I
Great
have a
story
very
writer.
serious set of skills. I don't know this line.
Yeah,
Sounds
I,
like
the,
great.
the,
Yeah.
the way that I see it in the campaign, Sean is, if we were to like compare some of the players to the actors, Sean is a lot like Liam Neeson, and Jeremy, and I tell him this, and when we go see him live perform
yes.
and stuff,
Peter Dinklage.
yeah,
Yep.
Jeremy is tall Peter Dinklage.
Yep.
But in all the
Yes.
coolest ways, though.
Yes.
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 Freaking
In all
love
the
Peter
best
Dinklage.
ways. Yes.
Oh man.
He's a South Pole elf.
Who said that? Wow.
All right.
It's so great.
All right. Well, with that, we are going to wrap up. So, with that, let me go like this, and I will leave you with a little bit of a story hook. In the skies above Tirvis, traveling from the northern city of Rhymvel to the capital city of Coradine, one of the commercial airships sails over. This airship being shaped like a traditional boat with lower decks. However, there is a balloon, a massive blimp balloon connected to the center mass with propellers on either side of the boat structure, propelling it forward slowly, steadily as you sail over the clouds. On this ship, there are several families, and it's a relatively large ship. There are probably 50 to 60 people on board, including the crew. People tending to the mechanisms engineers tending to the mechanisms that keep the ship flying. The captain keeping watch over everything, the first mate steering away as you sail through the clouds and the freezing mist over the Heraldon snowfields and over the mountain range. As Cresto, each of you having found flyers to join this program, to join adventurers for your own reasons, setting forward to see what lies next. Maybe it's to get away from something, or perhaps simply to raise money, or maybe even it is your best means towards revenge, or possibly acquiring something that has long since been lost to you. Regardless of your reasons, you've taken the ship to the opening of this program in Coradine. However, during this trip, a large shadowy mass, too fast to be seen clearly, flies through and bursts through the balloon, causing the airship to start and plummet. The gas is seeping out and exploding, causing fires to erupt on the deck of the ship as you plummet towards the mountains. Until finally, among the screams and everything, you crash into the mountainside and are strewn about, the airship splitting in half as the snow begins to fall. And consciousness leaves you. And that is where we will pick up our very first session next week on Wednesday.
Consciousness, don't leave me.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you to everybody who tuned in to this session 0. Just a couple quick things. Make sure that if you are so willing, you can support us over on Patreon. Everything that we make on Patreon will go to improving the show and just help us work on other projects and everything like that. And the more support we get, the more often and better quality stuff we can make. You also get a bunch of different benefits with the Patreon things, such as exclusive Discord access, merchandise discounts, and even things like possibly picking up a game or two over Discord with me or either one of the cast members.
We'll also be creating some shout out pages as well in the interludes, and then also for our highest Patreon tier, where you see usually the character art, there will occasionally be shout outs for our highest Patreon tier as well.
Yep. And yeah, well, thank you all so much for watching, and we will see you all next week. Thank you, and bye-bye.